I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can use to upload files into the internal flash of your ESP32. The first method is the one that I used throughout all the YouTube videos on this channel. And the second way was actually a suggestion from the comment section, and so I would like to thank Maker Fabio who suggested me this way, because it's actually pretty interesting, and you will see. But before going to show you the first method, keep in mind that there are a lot of ways of storing your files for your projects. I actually made a video about this topic, so check it out if you want to see it. But now let's see the first method that I personally use throughout all my projects on YouTube. Personally, I like to use the HTTP protocols over the Wi-Fi network to upload files from my computer to the ESP32. If you have watched some of my videos before, you actually know that I use this configuration a lot in my projects. But now I'm going to show you how you can copy my code and upload files in your own ESP project. So the first thing that you want to do, if you want to set up this configuration, search for this repository, the link will be in the description, and then you're gonna need 2 things. The first one is the Python script that will use Flask to act like a local HTTP server that will basically provide the files to the ESP. This will be the script, and you're gonna need also a folder that will contain, of course, the files that you want to send to the ESP. And now let's set up this configuration for the Python script. So this is the Python script, and as you can see, you also have to add this audio files folder. Don't mind these names because they are from the last video, but the point is that you have to add your files here. So right now we're going to do a demo with a text file. So basically this will be the files that we're going to send from the PC to the ESP. So right here we are done. The last thing that we're gonna do is to start the local server for 2 main reasons. The first one is that is of course needed, and the second one is that we're gonna need to know this address. We have enabled the port 8000 and we have to add this address to our firmware. Let's have a look also at the firmware of the ESP. Right here, as you can see, there will be the Wi-Fi setup file for setting the Wi-Fi network, and if you want to recreate this configuration, you have to also add your credentials. Then on the main file, as you can see, basically we're going to initialize the MVOS for the Wi-Fi and HTTP, and then we're going to mount the little file system, and then it will basically do the rest. Right here, if you don't want to erase all the files, you are going to comment this part right here. And if you want to use this configuration, you have to firstly use the local address that we have seen before. And remember that the PC and the ESP have to be connected to the same Wi-Fi network. And basically the last thing that you want to change is this path right here. This will be my configurations for this project. Of course, I'm not going to show you the Wi-Fi credentials, but I can show you the local address of my computer, and then we have to change this to YouTube, and basically we are good to go. So after setting the Python script and the ESP firmware, now we're ready to see if it will download the files from the PC. And so right now we are on the ESP IDF terminal and we're going to start everything. So the first thing is to enter the path for my project. Then we want to set the target. So now, since I want to use little file system, I have to provide my partitions CSV, but we have to configure that file on the menu config. So as you can see from here. And now we want to build a file, and we should see our little fs partition. As you can see from here, little fs. And now I'm ready with the ESP32C3 to upload the code. So now let's open the monitor. And so as you can see from here, we have downloaded the files from the PC to the ASP. And as I said before, you can do it yourself. You just need to change some of the variables. But now let's see the second way that I mentioned at the start of the video. To try this way, we're going to copy the code from the ASP IDF repository. So we're going to go to examples, then peripherals, then USB, then device, and then to TUSB-MC. Basically, with this code right here, we're going to use our ESP32S3 like a mass storage device. When the ASP is connected as a mass storage device, you cannot see anything from the monitor of ASP IDF. After you unplug the ASP, it will work as usual, but with the files that you have uploaded from your computer. Right now I do not have a project with this configuration right here, but I'm going to show you that the ASP32C3 basically will behave like a mass storage. So how to use this code? So right here I'm on the ASP IDF clone repository on my folders, and this is the project that we want to copy. So we're going to copy this project, and after copying it to whatever path you want, now we are on ASP IDF to try the script. So I'm entering the path where I copied the folders, and now we have to redo the things that I have done before. So the first thing is to set the target, and now we want to, of course, build this code. And now we are ready to flash this firmware. So of course I'm only going to flash the code without using the monitor, because as I said before, when the ASP32C3 will be connected as a mass storage device, it won't be able to show anything to the monitor. And basically, as you can see, it says that it failed to connect, but while you were watching this, there is this USB drive empty, and basically this is a partition of the ASP32C3 that you are watching here. And basically we can, for example, create a YouTube text document, and we can have all these files into the ASP32S3, but unfortunately when I showed it to you, it disconnected. But if I want to reconnect this ASP32S3, we're going to see that basically the files will be there, as you can see from here. And so basically we can drag and drop all the files that we want into the ASP32S3. And so this was how you can turn your ASP32S3 board to a USB mass device storage. In this video I just wanted to show you that this was actually a thing and you can do it in your project. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and we're going to see you next week.